Hello, my name is Makai Smith. I'm a sophomore business administration major with a concentration in management, and today I'll be talking about how you can deal with stress as being a leader. In the leadership world, being stressed is inevitable. So my question here today is, what is the best way to make decisions when stressed? When you're stressed, you may experience things like heavy breathing, rapid heartbeat, or even tenseness in your body. It's not abnormal to feel these things, but there is a solution. You want to maintain a sense of calm and composure, stay clear of your goals, and remain focused on the main objective, and remain consistent in your actions. So remember, stress is a natural part of life, but how you handle it makes all the difference. Take a deep breath, stay grounded, and trust that with calm, focus, and consistency, you can overcome anything. You got this.
I'm Corey Pendergrass. I'm a junior business finance major out of Atlanta, Georgia. And today, within my group, my job was to talk about how leaders can handle conflict within a team. So when being a leader within a team and you come across some conflict, one thing a leader wants to do is understand who is within their team, how to talk to certain people within their team. Not everybody reacts the same. Not everybody's gonna have the best outcome, the best reaction to one tone. So understanding who you're talking to and how you need to talk to somebody is a major part in resolving conflict. You also want to stay calm. You want to focus on a solution. You don't want to focus on the issue. Focus on the issue is just walking backwards. So focus on a solution helps move forward. You want to seek common ground. You also want to set boundaries because not everybody will have the same boundaries. So respecting and setting boundaries will also help push people through and I guess solve the conflict. After de-escalating the situation, one thing that you want to do is resolve the situation so there is no lingering tensions and anything to that sort of nature. And some steps you might want to take towards resolving a situation is setting the tone, creating a culture that's open and respectful so nobody feels like unheard or not respected per se. You want to have model behavior. You also want to provide resources. Maybe somebody didn't take the conflict the right way, and providing resources will help push them so there is no lingering issues within like the team at all. And as a leader, that's what you want to make sure of. You also want to support your team. Just know you're there for everybody, not just one side of the situation, but both or all sides. And the last thing you might want to do is just once you guys get past that, just check up on people, because once you do that is a sign of a good leader, and that will also show like the best results within a conflict of a team.
A great team is a team that is built on trust, clear roles, and strong communication. Without those core values, the team will eventually fall apart and people won't trust each other, and things could get misconstrued and people will be working against each other instead of with them. And you want everybody in your team to work with each other to have a successful team. And with that being said, the team will be guided by a leader who fosters collaboration and motivation, especially when you first start out. You know, you got a new company, or you know, you're trying to scale what you already have. The team's not going to be able to see it, but you'll be able to see it, and you need to be able to motivate your team to kind of show them what your vision is, to be able to you really just need to pour into them, because it's going to be rough. There's going to be a lot of rough times, you know, building a company or whatever you're doing. But if you're able to pour into your team and give them that confidence to keep going, and, you know, pay them, you know, the right amount as well, then you'll have a solid team behind you and they'll ride for you no matter what.
How y'all doing? My name is Hunter Langley. I'm a sophomore business finance major coming out of Los Angeles, California, and I was tasked on what makes a good leader. First and foremost, you need effective communication. A good leader needs to have effectively communicated to the people that he is following what they need to contribute to the group. You also need to be a visionary thinker. Where is the direction of where you're leading to? Where are the followers heading to? What do you need to get to where you want to go? Another thing that you need is morals and ethics. I believe to be a good leader that you need to have a moral compass and to be ethical. You need to do things just because they're right, not because they can be profitable and things of that nature. That is what I think is going to be a good leader. Another thing about being a leader is to be deemed professional. What is being deemed professional? Being deemed as professional is showing up on time with the appropriate attire, not responding to insults with insults, using clear and respectful communication, meeting deadlines and commitments, and showing respect for other colleagues. As a leader, it's important to be showing up on time because you are setting the tone for your company or whatever you are leading. It is important to have that standard and that moral and that standpoint of being on time to all your meetings. It is also important to dress appropriately. It is important to meet the requirement of the professionalism that is it is important to meet the professionalism that is required. It is also important to use clear communication and meet the deadlines that you have set for yourself and showing respect for other colleagues.
Hello, my name is Quincy, and today I'll be speaking about professional behavior. I think professional behavior is important because it shows that you can be counted on by your colleagues and clients in a way that doesn't require you to ask for their trust. Showing respect to your colleagues is important because it sets a foundational and functional and professional work environment for when you need basic respect. Listening to when they speak, acknowledging their contributions, and not dismissing their ideas. You're not just being polite, you're enabling effective communication and trust. Disrespect, and even in a subtle way, can shut people down or make them stop wanting to contribute to your project. Or worse, it can make them actively disengage or sabotage your project. You don't have to like everyone you work with, but if you make them feel like they don't matter, they'll return the favor to you. Respect doesn't just maintain peace, it affects productivity, retention, and whether people will have your back when things go wrong. You want a solid team that performs under pressure and respects you. So if you want them to respect you, you'll have to start by showing them respect first.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Choice, sophomore business finance major from Los Angeles, California. And my part of the presentation was, why does emotional intelligence matter in leadership? I feel like that's a big role in leadership because emotional intelligence requires you to have self-awareness and social skills in order to build relationships with people you're leading. I feel like leaders who recognize their emotions can better manage situations and reactions and maintain professionalism under pressure. Good leaders know how to build networks, manage conflicts, and foster a positive work environment. I also had a slide where I talked about what it takes and what improvement you can make while being emotionally intelligent as a leader. Some improvements you can make is actively listening to people you're leading, reflecting on your emotions, because I feel like if you don't take the time to reflect how you're leading people, you can't get better. I also feel like you can develop empathy for people you're leading and seek feedback in order to be a better leader and be a better person. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Malik Mons. I am a junior business management major from Cairo, Georgia. And as part of my group presentation, my slide is talking about what chapter from the book resonated with me and why. I think the chapter of the book that resonated with me the most is from chapter 6. Humor can be your biggest asset. Growing up as a homeschooler, I've always used humor. I've always been funny in my family, and I've always used humor even in like bad times. And I feel like humor has always been a big part of my character when it comes to like working in groups or different projects. And being in so many youth organizations such as 4-H and Boy Scouts, I was really able to use humor to, make everyone feel good, to, really brighten up the room. That's why I think humor is definitely the biggest part of the book for me personally. And I mean, I've been using humor all my life. I've always loved, making jokes, making people smile and happy, and just kind of being, the some people say like some like to say like the class clown of the group. And I would say that humor is just something everyone should really be looking forward, even in dark times. And I've had a couple bad episodes in my life, and I've used kind of humor to kind of ease the moment, to, to feel better about myself, help calm my mind. And that's why I think humor resonated with me the most, after reading, being the exception to the rule, exceptional. And it's such a wonderful book. And I think everyone should definitely have a sense of humor, not be serious all the time, laid back, but definitely know when to be serious and when to, not be so serious. Thank you.